wows the fans.
Matthew with 5 points. Brady had 4. Mitch Marner, Dylan Larkin, Alexander Barkov, 3 points apiece. And right from the get-go, shot wide by Rantanen. The Central in turquoise and white. And Makar stopped there on a nice save.
A little bit of miscommunication there off the opening faceoff. Barkov thought he was winning it over to Brady. Matthew moved almost down one after the first opening faceoff.
McKinnon, Rantanen, Makar start for the Central in the predominantly turquoise. A pass in front for Brady Tkachuk. Now Barkov and a wraparound goal. Excuse me, Matthew, and he's got 4 now.
Well, and there's what Kevin talked about earlier, that the goaltenders aren't used to guys taking aggressive plays from behind. Everybody's looking to thread a beautiful pass, and a smart play by Tkachuk. You can see the hesitation by Saros. That's typically his best skill, moving side to side. I don't think he expected Matthew to come and do the stuff, and Matthew does a great job of keeping that puck out far enough to get past the pad.
Those two playing mini sticks in Sidney Crosby's first ever All-Star game, and they're stealing the show this time.
It's still a game, isn't it? It's a game for kids, and you can tell by the look on their face, it's exactly how they're feeling.
So the Atlantic strikes first, and they go back to work here. Dylan Larkin dancing. Been out there along with Mitch Marner. And now picked off here by Larkin. A pass for Suzuki doesn't work. And back the other way, Kirill Kaprizov handed it away. Breakaway Larkin, and he lost control of it. Another chance and a stop there by Saros. UC Saros with 12 saves in 14 shots in the first semifinal. Back the other way, a chance, and that one is...
Allmark made the save. He had no idea where the puck went. He just closed his pads quick enough, and instead of going 5-0, it went up and over into the corner.
And that last Kaprizov turnover for the breakaway, that was a jersey malfunction. Not like this one right here.
So 2 in a row, but Saros called upon to make the save. Well, depending on what way they're turned, they both look white, don't they? It's a disastrous decision uniform-wise, especially if you're the play-by-play guy.
Same color helmets too probably doesn't help you either, Chris.
You're right. Here's Seth Jones. He had a good opener. Jones with it in behind the net, looks to center, gets it back, and a return pass for Kadri doesn't work, and it's a breakaway the other way. A chance for the Atlantic to go up by 2, and Saros shuts the door. Back on a 2-on-1. Seth Jones is in, and he is stopped. Great stop by Allmark. Allmark just 3 saves in his half of work. 6 shots faced. Brady Tkachuk off the bench, and he fired that just wide. Brady's got it again. Pasternak trying to get off, and Barkov's going to reset to buy some time for Matthew to come on, and he flies into the zone, drops it off for Brady. Nice move, send it across, and that glanced off the skeet to McKinnon. Kadri with McKinnon at the moment. The shot goes wide. That'll be flipped ahead, and here's another backhand chance, and a nice stop there by Saros.
Boy, the turnover game right now is killing the Central. They're giving easy offense, and after getting beat on that one, Saros does a nice job of just keeping this a 1-goal game.
For the last 5 years, guys, Barkov has primarily been everyone's choice for most underrated player. And if you just watch him, it's not a surprise why Huberdeau had the year he did last year and Matthews having the year this year. Just the way he controls the puck and the passes he's able to make. He's not flashy, but he's highly skilled.
And now 14 points away from becoming the all-time leading Florida Panther point getter. Just behind Jonathan Huberdeau, here is McKinnon on a break. And Nathan McKinnon, that hit the crossbar. I thought he had him beat there, but it didn't go.
Got Allmark sliding across to his right, put it back up over his glove.
Here's Marner sending it in front, a beauty. Marner setting up Nikita Kucherov. And it's 2-0 Atlantic.
Well, we saw this last game by the Atlantic. You get a chance at one end, and they're able to shut the door. They go right back and put it in as McKinnon does a nice move back to the forehand, over the glove, but off the bar, and then just quick as ever, back the other way. Mitch Marner sliding it across, and Kucherov up and over to make it 2-0.
On this stage at the All-Star game. We hope that injury is not too serious.
And the way he's going, you know he's going to be back here. He's just following up a great year last year with a fantastic one this year. Sky's the limit, it seems, for him.
Well, how about the Atlantic? They've now scored 8 consecutive goals. Marner finds Larkin. Marner with 4 assists so far today. Kachuk's now up to 11 combined points for the Atlantic. Kaprizov on the ice. A pass ahead, and Josh Morrissey heads in for the Central. Kaprizov followed up. It's played past him and flipped out to center. Jason Robertson gives it away. And in comes Kucherov. His pass picked off. And Robertson had it knocked off his stick by Marner. Larkin back in. Looking to get it back. And a backhand glove stop by Saros. Ahead to Kaprizov. Rink wide it goes. Jason Robertson on the move. There's Robertson in behind the net, and he just played that out to center. Every member of the Atlantic team had a point in the opening game, that 10-6 victory, except for Andrei Vasilevsky. Even Ullmark had an assist, and here's a break. In too deep was Pasternak, and fails to capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah, Seth Jones at least just held his ground. You know, so many times guys do a flyby here in these types of games. He's able to stay there and accept that pass, turn it over.
Clayton Keller got it back. Vladdy Tarasenko, who had a great game in the opener with 4 points, a goal, and 3 assists. Here's Keller on it again. Jones to the net, and a nice stop there by Linus Ullmark. Keller almost stole that. Atlantic can't clear, but they regain possession. And here is Dahlin. Back in, Pasternak. Second in NHL goal scoring. Dahlin gets a look, and that off a stick, and a bit of a changeup handled by Saros. See if we can get Nathan McKinnon to get to the gallop.
Time to get the windup going with this group.
Here's Rantanen in, and that pass for McKinnon doesn't work. Back the other way, it's Brady Tkachuk. Hands it off to Matthew. In the middle, Barkov. Brady. And off a stick again, a rebound. Saros. Couple stops there, and he'll keep it alive.
Yeah, boy, almost gave that one for a second chance. Had to make 3 saves instead of 1 there with that little bobble.
Rantanen didn't score a goal in the first game. Nathan McKinnon hit the score sheet. Dashing it again, try to feed it to Rantanen. Makar on the move. And here's Cale Makar. In behind. In front, Rantanen off a skate wide, and Matthew Tkachuk turns. Up ahead, Brady at the line. Rantanen gets back. Under 2.5 to go in the first half. 10-5, but Atlantic with the shot edge and a 2-0 lead. Not trading as many chances, but maybe another one here for Matthew.
Well, money talks, Chris. I think everyone realizes that the money on the line here, it's 10-5 right now, shots on net. Certainly Atlantic's getting more chances, but you're right, you're not seeing as many 2-on-1s as you think we would see.
Here's Larkin with another steal. Handed off by Marner. Excuse me, Marner trying to get it back. Lost the handle, but recovered again by Larkin. Dylan Larkin to the net, and Saros with another stop to keep the Central within touch of an Atlantic team that's had the edge. Now Jason Robertson over the boards. To the attack. Goes to the front of the net, and that's off Ullmark and back out to center.
The goaltenders again for the Central. Just kind of keeping it close. Couple of huge saves by Saros to keep his team in it.
Pass behind Robertson. And
got to create a little spark here on that bench.
Saros out to center. The Dallas Stars Robertson feeds it. Knocked off the stick of Kaprizov. Played ahead, and Nick Suzuki's on the move. Larkin jumps up. It's Marner, excuse me, and a stop there by Saros. Stolen there by Marner again. Larkin's in again. Dylan Larkin scores, and he's having a big all-star game for the Atlantic. It's 3-0.
Last minute of play and a chance to get the puck in deep for another chance. A long pass there by Morse. He tries the curl and drag. It gets picked off, and now Mark Larkin just takes a quick look, and the lateral movement there, just again like we saw earlier from him, about 6 feet going across to his left and lifted up that forehand. That line combination's been pretty solid, hasn't it?
Well, the ultimate compliment too for Marner, when Larkin was talking with David Amber earlier about it's just been a pleasure to play with Mitch out there, and the respect for the plays he's able to make and how easy it is to get open and for Martin to distribute. So you're seeing that firsthand, and that's what you want as a player. You want the respect of your peers.
Yeah.
And Marner's certainly earning Larkin's today.
We got that in the interviews with Saros and Hellebuck last night. It really is impressive when guys come together with something in common, and the mutual respect develops. Here's another chance in front, maybe an extra pass there by Pasternak. Rasmus Dahlin watched by Jones, down low it goes. Pasternak unable to handle that. Suzuki. Dahlin. Pasternak hounded there by Jones, but keeps it in the zone. And the horn sounds to end the first half. Clean sheet for Ullmark, 3-0 Atlantic. Here's Kyle.
Yes, Chris, and it was Dylan Larkin also telling David Amber in the first game, I'm actually sweating. We're working out here. 6 unanswered in the semifinal, 3 straight to start this one here in the final. 3-0 Atlantic leads the final 10 minutes of the All-Star game on the other side.
For the Central, and at the other end, Andrei Vasilevsky for the Atlantic. And here comes the Atlantic to the attack. Dahlin will turn back. Again, McKinnon, Rantanen, Makar. David Pasternak in deep for the Atlantic. Dahlin across. Gets it back from Suzuki.
Maybe this a little bit of the game plan. Up 3-0 right now. Just keep possession, drag the puck, right?
Keep the puck to the outside, have it for the whole time.
Put everyone to sleep, but get the win.
Now 3-on-1 the other way. Rantanen looks open, Makar, and McKinnon snapped that shot high. And the puck deflecting out of play.
Yeah, Vasilevsky again. I mean, there's your Vezina Trophy winning goaltender as he just slides across. He's a little late dealing with it, but look at it, gets the elbow up and makes sure that he gets a piece of that puck. His ability we've seen so often, watching his eyes and how he tracks it. And I think that one McKinnon maybe thought he wouldn't be expecting that shot. The late reaction was there, but the elbow got a piece of it.
It's only the 4th whistle today without a goal. Correspond for a goal. Morrissey in front. Here's a chance, and that went wide. Kaprizov's on it now. There's a bad angle shot, and that glanced off the post and out as Robertson had a look. And some room short side. Mentioned Vasilevsky, 5 consecutive All-Star appearances. Only 10 goaltenders in history have done that. Kaprizov missed the target.
Well, not just All-Star. I mean, so often a Vezina finalist. It's hard to believe he's only won it the one time, as he's been there seemingly every year.
Here's Kirill, the thrill in Kirill Kaprizov stopped by Vasilevsky. And that ended up on the netting.
Did he overthink it there, Kev? Did you had 5-hole going in?
I thought 5-hole. Vasilevsky is just so big and intimidating coming down on him. He challenges too on those breakaways. It's almost like you have to open him up and try to go through him. That's the only way you're going to beat him. And couldn't do it right there. It's almost like once he was challenged a little bit by Ovechkin, he's been a different guy, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no question.
Face off. Won by the Central. Here's a chance for Seth Jones. Passed off from a pretty good spot. Marner back on the ice along with Larkin and Kucherov. And here's Mitch Marner. 5 assists today. Marner in deep. Flips it back for Larkin. His shot scores. And Dylan Larkin's feeling it.
Well, Kevin talked about his love of playing with Mitch Marner and the respect. How about this play? Marner just runs out of real estate here and saucers one right softly into the zone. And where does that go? There's your 5-hole, Kev.
Yeah.
Kind of halfway in between was Hellebuck. He wasn't quite down enough. He was still standing. The pads weren't connected, and Larkin with the release finds the hole.
And what does every great skilled distributor, passer want to play with? Is a guy with speed, and Larkin's speed is pretty evident out here. He's flying around, he's zipping around, and that chemistry, when it's on, it's pretty lethal.
4 goals for Larkin, 3 consecutive assists for Mitch Marner, so give him 6 today.
You wonder, do Kucherov and Marner even talk on this line, or is it just, you know what's coming up here in a couple of months? It's probably Tampa, Toronto again, and that's just such an interesting dynamic, isn't it? And that's what all-star games are really kind of all about.
Here they come back in again. Atlantic looking for more, and Larkin thwarted that time. I know what some Leaf fans are thinking, because Dylan Larkin's contract's expiring. If he doesn't sign, is he tradable?
And so is he sending a message with his interview?
And is Kyle Dubas watching is the question Leaf fans are asking.
Maybe that's why Kucherov's not really talking with either of them.
Marner tried to give it to Kucherov there. It bounced over his stick and now played back out to center.
Well, you think after this all-star game ends today, what's the next focus? Well, it's trade deadline, and that's coming so quickly.
Mikko Rantanen to the net and stopped by Hellebuck.
And this is not saying it's a recruiting opportunity for a lot of these teams, but I've had conversations before with guys before the deadline. You're trying to persuade guys that you think would fit good on your team or guys you'd have good chemistry with. So this is not an outrageous thought.
Makar holds the zone.
You know how it goes too, Kev. The way travel goes now, you never spend time in a city. So even after a game, you don't get a chance to, even if you have a friend that's playing on another team, you rarely get a chance to talk with them and spend any significant time with them. And this is that chance.
And guys look good on paper maybe sometimes and compliment each other on paper, but you never really know until you get on the ice and you're whipping the puck around. And this is a great opportunity to see, like, do I have chemistry with this guy or not?
There's some chemistry. McKinnon to Rantanen. And the Central's on the board.
Yeah, that's happened a few times, hasn't it? 2 great players. I mean, Rantanen in his own right is having just another amazing year leading the Avalanche, but he and McKinnon finally solved the way to get it past Vasilevsky. You wondered when this trio of Avalanche players would come through. Well, maybe that's a spark that will get a frenetic ending to this championship game.
So the Avalanche get on the board. It's 4-1 Atlantic. Last brothers to score each in the same All-Star game. The Sedins back in 2012. And the Kachucks have done it here. Jason Robertson with a steal. Got Kaprizov, back to Robertson. Robertson in deep and can't tuck it by. Andrei Vasilevsky. Josh Morrissey up top. Send it across. Brady gets his stick on that, and away goes Brady Tkachuk. Little shoulder check to see if he's got company, but ends up going on a solo mission. Gets it back now, and Alexander Barkov to Brady. And back the other way come Robertson and Kaprizov 2-on-1. Here's Kirill Kaprizov walking in, and that's shrugged away by Vasilevsky and out.
You know, those last two rushes, I thought Robertson looked for a second and looked like, Kevin, he was going to pass it to Barkov, but he realized, oh, that's not my teammate. And we saw Kaprizov earlier give it to the wrong guy. I think he was hesitant to really look to pass and said, better just try to get this one there.
Well, again, it's that opposing Vasilevsky, right? You're holding, you're waiting for a hole, and the next thing you know, you're on top of them, and there's absolutely nothing.
Tarasenko comes out with Keller and Jones. And a face-off won by Clayton Keller. Tarasenko, a goal and 3 assists in the first game. Keller on it again. Under 5 minutes to go. Jones cuts inside, off the glove of Vasilevsky. Flipped away, and away goes Larkin. You know he's got good speed, cutting in, and stopped that time by Hellebuck. Tarasenko down that right flank, spun it across, out of the reach of Keller. Back around to the point, and Larkin's got it again. He's got Marner with him. This time he feeds Marner, and the return pass doesn't work. Kept alive by Kucherov. Marner sends it across.
Well, the communication last break was look at about 2.5 for maybe Hellebuck to come out of the net here. So that's kind of got a minute and a half until that. We'll see what happens.
That one knocked down in front, and here he goes. McKinnon takes a look, the line change happening. He walks it in, and then has it broken up by Dahlin. Pastrnak up ahead for Larkin again. Back to David Pastrnak, and a nice stop there by Hellebuck. Here comes McKinnon and Rantanen. The pass through is broken up, intercepted by Suzuki. Nick Suzuki for Dahlin. Spun it back to Pastrnak. And now loose is Suzuki in front. He tried to go between the legs, and that didn't work. Gets it back again and lost it, and away goes Makar. Rantanen trying to make it a 2-on-1. Heel Makar across, and a good stick by Dahlin. Kept alive and down for McKinnon in tight. Makar had it knocked away from him, and back goes Pastrnak, and he's got a clean rip to the net and scores. 5-1 Athletic, David Pastrnak.
I think Pastrnak expected to be closed off there by McKinnon, and he just ran out of gas and said, okay, looking behind him, hoping to give it. Now said, oh, anything happened? This is in all alone, and you just can't give that kind of skill very often, that kind of chance. There's another one that goes 5-hole as Pastrnak pulls it back, slides it around, and puts it through.
Common theme tonight, guys, has been 0-3 for me on my bench, just so you know.
Yeah, you are the...
I'll share a little bit of the blame in this loss.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't win congeniality at this All-Star game.
Amber's just such a much better guy than me.
Robertson, Kaprizov, and another stop for Andrei Vasilevsky. Up ahead it goes, Matt Tkachuk with Brady, and across to Brady, tried to give it back, and one too many passes there, kept in by Barkov. Down low, Matthew, Brady in front, and that's onto the stick of Morrissey, who sends it away, and Vasilevsky all the way out near the blue line to clear that. And the pass skipped over the stick of Matthew. Josh Morrissey, a great pass ahead. Here comes a chance, and Vasilevsky turns that aside as Kaprizov gets another look. Back comes Matthew, a pass across, Barkov unable to handle that. Brady Tkachuk to Matthew. And a stick by Robertson. Larkin comes off the bench to intercept, right to the net, and a rebound chance, and Hellebuck with 2 more saves. So final 90 seconds or so here, and Dylan Larkin, who's been one of the difference makers marching back in. Josh Morrissey breaks up that attack. There goes the Winnipeg Jet star. Morrissey gonna walk in. Robertson scores. And the Central's got another goal. It's 5-2 with a minute 13 to go.
Well, finally, one of those cross-seam, cross-crease passes as Morrissey, the backhand saucer. You could see that Vasilevsky came flying across, just got it up and underneath. And for Jason Robertson, you know, fitting his first All-Star appearance, having right out of the gate with 33 in his first 51, and there's at least one to remember putting it in the back of the net. You got to think he's going to be here a few more times in his career, don't you?
I would think so. Tied for 6th in league scoring, along with Matthew Tkachuk. Another chance and another goal for Dylan Larkin, and that's a hat trick tonight for Larkin in the second game. And this final of the All-Star game, the Red Wing captains had a big day.
Oh, goal scoring here in Florida, and you mentioned it, Kevin. Larkin's had the energy, hasn't he? He's not just playing like it doesn't matter. He's had the effort. He's back-checked hard. There's a little pretend that you're losing the puck, and another one, 5-hole on Hellebuck. We had 6 hat tricks coming in to this All-Star game, and wow, we get 3 on the weekend here.
Yeah, it's been a level of determination in his game for sure from day one. I've seen him at previous All-Star games. This is just one where, I don't know, you've been to a couple of these and you just eventually you want to win.
Mention how good he is, 3-on-3, 7 goals, 9 assists in regular play. A chance here and a pretty goal that was. 5-hole on Vasilevsky for the crafty Clayton Keller.
Boy, talk about a play that's hard to read for a goaltender. You know, in a game, you don't often make this kind of a play. It looks like a casual one, but he knew exactly what he was doing and pulling it side to side, hoping to open up. And you could see the reaction was late there by Vasilevsky. Wasn't expecting that little one-handed tip through the legs.
Second straight All-Star game final that Clayton Keller has tallied a goal.
I could be wrong, but I think the first guy that I saw do this in an NHL game was Textier when he was with Columbus.
Oh, yeah, right, he did. It just looks so casual, you better score, right?
Absolutely.
If you don't, you're in trouble. Oh, we got a penalty. Penalty shot.
Penalty shot with 41.2 seconds to go.
Number 26 has been awarded a penalty shot, hooked on the hands on a breakaway. Penalty shot.
Great explanation.
And Kyle Raymond
had to get involved. Why not, eh?
You got to get your airtime. The game's 40 seconds left.
Oh, boy.
Get your airtime.
Well, I don't see any hands either. He missed the hands. I think that was a good play.
Well, Darlene should be on his vacation right now, right? Isn't that what we were saying? So he deserves a gift.
up against. Oh, he
why not? Good
tried
job.
for the highlight reel there.
That wasn't even between the legs. It was behind it, right?
This is a defenseman, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is a highly skilled move. And that's where our game's at. Our defensemen are as skilled as anyone these days.
Well, you're on the big stage. Might as well try and make an impact. 6-3 in a face-off in the central zone. Barkov's got it, hooks it in front, and he didn't score the penalty shot, but he's got that one. Rasmus Dahlin.
That look kind of says it all. It's like, oh man, I missed the one time and got it right back. There's Barkov, like Kevin was talking about, just so calm with the puck. Waits, pulls it around, and that one short side by Dahlin.
Only Erik Karlsson with more points from the blue line this year. Spectacular season as he's gone to another level. Dahlin with 14 goals, 55 points. One more chance for Nathan MacKinnon to get the Central a little closer. The window dressing. And it's 7-4 Atlantic.
Well, it was MacKinnon who scored the first goal for the Central to start this thing off. Very similar, just 3 strides in the zone, set and fire. Look at the reaction of Vasilevsky. It just beat me. A right-handed shot. I've always felt that blocker side above the pad and underneath the blocker is just so hard to defend against the goalie. And as a right-handed shot, that's a destination point that is a popular one.
McKinnon, who hit 700 points earlier this year, 4th in the league in points per game on the season. Getting it a little closer, but the $1 million getting set to be awarded to the Atlantic. One more chance here, and 7.6 to go, and now it's a 2-goal game as Cale Makar looks up at the clock.
Kevin, that's right down your alley there.
He looked like he sank a little bit. It looked like there was 14 seconds left in the game, but it's one of those times where Vasilevsky, like any goalie, if you don't challenge and you're not out, you look a lot smaller, and it was a perfect shot.
There's, again, the right-handed shot, that exact same place, from a different angle, but exact same place that McKinnon just put it on Vasilevsky.
Cross-body over the pad.
Yep.
It's an excellent shot.
So we've had 6 goals in a minute 13. Do you think we can get 2 more in a 7.6? Not likely. And this one's going to end 7-5, and the Atlantic Division has won the 2023 All-Star Game. First time ever, the Atlantic Division celebrates the win, and $1 million purse here, and Matthew Tkachuk was huge. Of course, it's a home ice win here, and at least one rat comes down from the old glory days of the Florida Panthers, and likely a Panther will be the MVP of this game, Matthew Tkachuk. So there it is, the final. Here's Ron McLean.